This video is going to talk about the new wave, and if in your reality, you're stepping into this new wave of being. So right now we're going through a time of immense shifting and changing. I don't know if you can feel it, but there's a palpable energy right now, and you may be able to see it or not, of reality sort of shifting and changing and matching the evolution that we're going through individually as well as a collective. So in this video, I want to give you 3 take-home points that you can kind of identify in your reality. And if any one of these sort of applies to you, you can take it as a sign that you're more and more moving into and on the path of this new wave of being. So point number 1, things in your reality are shifting. Case in point to what I was just mentioning earlier. Are you noticing things in your life, whether it be, certain situations, certain people, certain dynamics, they're changing? You can see it with your own eyes that maybe people that have once been in your reality for a while are starting to step away or take on a different role in your environment and therefore their relationship to you. Maybe you can just sort of sense that that's what's happening, that beneath the surface, beneath the physical, you can tell that, things are changing in your life because things are changing in other people. And you don't even got to know what's happening to them and what they're doing. You can just feel it. You know that, damn, we're going through a transition right now. Things are changing. I feel it energetically, yet I'm also seeing it play out very obviously in my reality. This is obviously something that's going to change certain dynamics and energies, but it's just a reflection of us having made the changes internally, and as a collective, the changes that we've made to evolve and move into this new wave of being that has, progressed more and more over time. So these changes in your reality, these things that are shifting, the things that you can perceive both, externally, internally, they're a telltale sign that you're moving into this new wave of being, and this new wave of being is here and evolving right here, right now. Now, the second point to represent this new wave is a strong urge and strong resistance. So amidst this new changing energy, we're going to have these impulses to act, to do things, to follow our inspirations, to follow our intuitions, to do things that push ourselves outside of our comfort zone. Yet knowing that the evolution is going to bring us to this next stage, this new energy that we've been calling into our life for a while. So although this is very exciting, and although the inspirations are almost, and very hard to ignore, we're experiencing just as much resistance as the impulse to take action. So this is a beautiful thing, because what are breakthroughs? What are new ways of being? What is this new energy? It's basically, us being and moving to our edges of what we deem as our, safety zone, and experiencing these, resistant emotions and sensations, yet still being able to break through those and blast open to a new evolution, breaking through that glass ceiling, so to speak. So when I say strong urges, yes, we may have fear that comes up. We may have, things that are coming up for us that we know we could do, but it's not actually coming from an aligned place. But when I'm talking about strong urges, I'm talking about those things that are aligned, that are intuitive, that are inspired, and that full stop that you need to fucking do in order to embody this new wave of energy. And when you experience resistance and fear from that place, use your intuition. When this is happening. That is when you're going to break through and embody this new wave, this new energy that's making its way into your life. Be patient with yourself. You don't have to go overboard and feel like you have to evolve right now and do everything you can to follow your intuition. Allow yourself to settle into this energy and be grounded when you do it. But just know that when you're embodying this new frequency, that's when you embody this new identity and match it to the evolutions in our reality that are taking place. And the things that you're harboring any resistance or resentment or fear or regret around, they can sort of settle in and work with you to integrate this new energy that you're stepping into as you push yourself to do the things that you know you need to do. Now, the third point basically goes along with number 2 in its own kind of way. It's try new things, and like I mentioned, step into new ways of being. Again, this part is like, it's not even like a conscious thing, really. It's not even like you're forcing yourself to do it like in point 2. This one, try new things, new ways of being. It's like if you're open and receptive and calling in this new frequency, this new wave of energy that we're stepping into, it's almost like you're being guided. You know, somebody's pulling you like by the rope or by a string, and the universe is supporting you and moving to this new energy, and your hands are up. So you're just going. You're not going to resist it or anything. You're just going to go with it. So in terms of try new things, new ways of being, it's basically you just like following the call, essentially, and then finding yourself in these new situations, these new predicaments, these new elements that you've not yet seen yourself and been a part of, you know, at this time. So there's really not much you could do to stop this if you're really aware of it and allowing yourself to move through it. It's just the fact that you're stepping into these new situations, which is sort of forming the way you kind of shift and move through this new energy. So that's what it's all about. It's just kind of embodying these new situations, these new environments, these new dynamics, and allowing yourself to assimilate in them, because where you want to go, what you're calling in, what you're being inspired to go do, and essentially what you're being pulled to go do even more, is putting you in these dynamics to which you're supposed to evolve. And you evolve by being uncomfortable. And when you're already in the situation, there's not much you can do to get out of it. So you're forced to kind of act and be in ways that show yourself, that show your being, that show your system that it's okay and that you're okay by being outside of your comfort zone. And potentially, you know, this doesn't always have to be the case, but potentially we're pushing ourselves so much that we can get into some pretty interesting dynamics that may have a perceived threat to our safety system, but may actually have a real threat to our safety system as well. Now, I know that point's kind of hard to clarify, and I'm going to keep this video short, so I'm not going to really go into that too much, but just know that we're being called into these new dynamics just to show our nervous systems that we're okay if we're in these new dynamics that are perceived by our mind, by our body, by our being, by our reality as threatening. And when we can make it through, the level of sort of integration that happens with the things that are blocking us is very, very divine. And as a result, you experience new levels of peace, awareness, presence, and flow to move forward. And the last point here, you know, it's a bonus point in red. I don't know if you can read that, but it's having crazy emotions, you know. It's not so much a point as a byproduct of what you're going through is, you know, shifting you a lot. And you're going to be riding the highs, the lows, the sideways, the backwards. You're going to be feeling a lot of different things, and just know that that's okay and that you're meant to go through it. Obviously, there's ways in which you can be and surrender to allow it to move through you in the most, efficient and effervescent sense. But at the same time, you know, no matter how we are in these states of being, we're being called to experience every aspect of ourselves that's coming to the surface. So just be kind to yourself through this process. Know that you're not alone, that we're all going through it. We're all trying to find the answers, find the tools, find the ways to move through what we're going through. But know that regardless of if you're going through it, you know, with your arms up, your hands back, your back flat, or whether you're kicking and screaming through it, the choice that you are making to go through this shift and to call it in, that is worthwhile in itself. And that's calling it upon guidance to help you through it in ways that are not only beneficial, but that are, you know, what you at the end of the day want deep down in your soul. So embody this frequency, embody this new wave of energy. Know that you're totally guided and grounded. Know that I support you. Know that God supports you. Know that your fellow man supports you. And that, this new wave of being is here. This new energy is here. Enjoy it. Ride it out. Don't judge yourself. You know, you're here for a reason. You're here because you've done all the right things. So even if things don't feel totally aligned, know that you're guided and supported in all that you do. So I love you. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you connect with me soon. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.